It is 4 in the morning. I'm trying to be quiet for this tutorial because everyone is sleeping. My son woke me up around 2 a.m., something like that, and Mama just couldn't go back to sleep. So I figured, why not get up and go ahead and do the tutorial? That way I can have it on for you guys sometime early this morning. Okay, so you should have received this flower in your emails. If you did not receive it, let me know. Check your spam. This is the flower that we are going to be tracing, and you're going to be doing your own creativity to it. And you're going to learn about tracing first, and then the next step, which will be the Monday's tutorial, will be learning how to fill in each individual layer of your flower, fill in with color, a design, wallpaper, background, shading. Those are really big steps when you learn shading, and we're going to do all that on Monday. It'll probably be a long tutorial video, so be prepared for that, to spend at least an hour and a half to watch it. I will try to edit it and speed it up, all that fun stuff. So anyways, so you will have this flower in your emails, and import it into your Procreate. And the first thing that we are going to do before we start tracing this flower is you want to bring the opacity of the flower down. That way you can see where you are tracing, but you can also see the flower when you are tracing it. So you're going to hit this little N right here, and where it says opacity, you're going to take that all the way down to about 20. Okay, so you see, we still see our flower, but the opacity is low. That way we can see what we are doing. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do before I lower the opacity is I want to duplicate this flower, and I'm going to change the color of it, and I'm going to click on the select tool, and I want to lower it, and I want to bring it in the middle. I want to have a tiny version of the flower in the center and have a bigger one on the outside. What we can do in the next tutorial is we can take these and we can rotate them as we go, make them look like they are layered flowers, and have more fun with it. So I'll probably be doing that. But for now, I'm going to show y'all how to trace both of these. So you will have your start of your outline, and then you'll be ready to design it. So we're going to lower the opacity to both of these. I'm going to bring that one up just a hair, probably about 35. Okay, so I'm going to start with the small one first. And when we start layering these, we'll probably turn this one off, bring this one all the way to the top. That way it can sit on top. So, but I want to go ahead and get the small one done first. So what you're going to do is you're going to hit this plus sign, and you're going to create a new layer, and we are going to go with black. You're going to your brushes, and you're going to find your monoline. Your monoline brush is in your calligraphy. So you're going to find your monoline brush, and I'm going to go back to mine because I have it favorited with where I have saved the size of my brush, so I can show you that. When you're scrolling, the best sizes for your monoline brush is I have it at 8%, and then I have it at about 20%. So 8% and 20%. 8% will be this size if you don't want a heavy outline, and then a little bit bigger for 20%. So I'm going to do 8%, and I'm going to start with the small one first and make sure you're above it. And you want to be able to zoom in and see it while you are doing your outline tracing. So here's a cool trick. When you start tracing, actually, we're going to go a little bit smaller with this, and I'm going to go down to 1%. Here's a fun thing. If you cannot draw a perfect curve, do like you do when I showed y'all the circle. And when you're drawing your line, following the line here, you'll want to hold it until it gives you that edit. Okay, so now what you can do, you can actually take this one and duplicate it and start moving them around just like so and connecting them. That way you don't have to continue to draw. You would just move them and rotate them and connect them in place. Just like that, super simple. And then when we're done, we're gonna, I'm gonna show y'all that we're gonna fill in the layer. But right now in this tutorial, we're just going to do our outlines, and then on Monday, we're going to fill in our layers and get them decorated. I want you to really practice with your tracing skills, and you can trace in each one. That way you can to get more on an intermediate level with your tracing, and the steadiness of your hand. It really helps if you just do the whole thing and just practice. That way you can know the pressure of your brush and the steadiness of your hand. Now I do have, I'm sure y'all have seen, and I think 2 videos. This is a Procreate, well, I say Procreate, but a iPad tablet glove that you use when you are drawing. There is a feature, I will have to figure out how I turn that off, but when you are using your hand to touch this, you see my fingers can move it, but my fingers do not draw. The only thing that draws is my Apple Pencil. So I can find that feature. I'll have to figure out what I turned off or what I turned on to keep that from happening. But I think I paid like $4 or $5 for a set of 3 gloves on Amazon. I will put a link to that on the Facebook group. Okay, so now we're going to go down to the first one, and we're going to hit this plus sign, and we are going to do the same thing that we did to this flower. Okay, like I said, if you want to practice more with your tracing, then you can do each individual flower. And the good thing about this is if you cannot get it lined up how you want it, hit this edit arc, and this blue dot right here, you can pull that out and you can push this one in just like that, and then hit that editing again so it'll take that off. So I'm going to, since I'm teaching y'all tracing, I'm going to do every single one for the big one. For the small one, I just wanted to give you an example to let y'all know that you can just duplicate each one and put them in each part. That will make the process a little quicker, but that's if you don't want to have to draw every single one. Now right here, as you can see, I have a little gap. When you go to put in your color, then it's going to color the whole background, so I'm going to fill that in. Okay, and the line doesn't have to be perfect, but if you want to fix that, which I did not My option had already went away. Then you will hit edit, and I think we're good now. But you want to make sure you have each of your corners connecting, okay? So we're gonna do each one. And however you draw best, put your Canva in that, or your Canva in that position. My thing is I do better drawing from bottom to top instead of top to bottom. So, for instance, this is gonna be flipped around like this. I'm gonna start down here, go up, just like that, and make sure that these are connected. And I'm gonna do the same thing right here, down, up, and you want to make sure that these corners are connected. So our flower is coming along. I will show y'all a more intermediate design that we are going to do probably in a few weeks to add a lot of detail to a clip art image. Spring is coming up, summer's coming up, and the clip art that I have that we're going to work with in a couple weeks, you guys are going to have so much fun with it. But it definitely is an intermediate because it's going to have a lot of detail to it. Okay, so just to check everything. Oop. Got to make sure all my corners, and to check and see if you have all your corners together, you can go ahead and drop your color. Okay, so once we have this outline done, you can turn off the those. You can turn those off. These are the ones that we imported. You can turn those off. If you want to keep them there, that's fine. If you want to delete them, that's fine too. I'm going to go ahead and delete mine. That way I already have my outline, so I'm ready to work with it. I'm going to show you a little bit of what we're going to do in the next tutorial. This one is kind of quick and easy. So this one is my outer. So let me do my big flower. And then this one is my center flower. Okay, that way we can keep those separated. So with the center flower, I'm going to show you a little something that I showed y'all in the previous tutorial, where you can keep your outline, but put something in the center here, because if you go to fill that in, you're not going to have your outline anymore. If you want to keep your outline, you will create a layer underneath that. Find you a color. Let's see, I'm gonna try to stick with some spring colors. Let's do that peach. You're going to hit that tool right there. Color fill automatic and add is on. Oh, we have to turn on reference. We have to turn on reference right here. Look at me messing up, y'all. There we go. Okay, so I don't really like that color. I think I'm going to go with more of a yellow for the center, like a pastel yellow. There we go. That's good. And if you want to keep your outline, you can. If you would rather have the whole thing yellow, you can as well. And then in the next tutorial, I will show y'all what shading does. puts a lot of detail into your flowers. So I'm going to group these together. And then with the big flower, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to bring my layer underneath it. I'm going to turn on reference, click on layer 5, hit this tool, make sure all this is on, change the color. Let's do pink and tap. Okay. Now, if you want to go ahead and start creating your layers, we're going to, let's group these, and I'm going to duplicate, and I'm going to take and rotate. Let me turn off snapping. That way I can move it myself. You can do it small, you can do it big. Let me see if I do another one. Oh, that's cute. Okay, so I want these to be lined up, and these, the one underneath this one, to go out this way. So I'm going to keep that like that. We're going to have so much fun with this on Monday. So again, be sure to group these. If you go ahead and put your color in, if you want to take your color off, you can until Monday. Oop. Wrong one. There we go. That way we just see our outline, and then we'll be ready to create it and make it absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to show y'all one of the intermediate ones that we are going to do soon. Let me find it right here. We are going to, instead of color this in, we are going to trace this, and it's going to be fun. You can, whoop, let me turn on reference. You can color this in like it's a coloring page, but don't you want it to look more realistic and more creative, shading, and just something very unique to bring out the little gnome here. So we're gonna do that eventually. Whoop. We're gonna do that eventually, and this will be a super long tutorial. Probably it'll probably end up being a 2-part, but it's gonna be fun once y'all are ready to learn all of that. So here is your outline. If you have it like this, that's fine. If you just have it with the small one and just the big outline layer, that's totally fine too. However you want to create your flower is totally up to you. So on Monday, we are going to start shading in, creating, putting backgrounds on this, using different types of brushes with different types of options that you have, plaid, sparkle, thing, whatever, you know, just make it your own. So I want to see your outline. So post a picture of your outline that you have in the Facebook group. Okay, Monday we're gonna have so much fun.